Hello, fellow world destroyers. Or would that be fellow destroyers of world? Yeah, because it's only one world. We're not destroying all the worlds, just ours. Welcome to Plaguing Evolved. Today, we are going to try to rectify our error from yesterday. Actually, more specifically, errors. We had a little problem because I didn't understand how a Necroa virus works. So I played through some scenarios and I figured out a bit better way to handle things. So we're going to play it, and I'm going to pause occasionally, and I'm going to explain to you. Hold on a second. This sounds kind of hollow. That's better. I'm going to explain to you my logic behind what we're doing and a couple things that I learned. Zombies are a little unique, and the Necroa virus makes zombies. So we will see what we got. That's a good one. We'll keep that one. We'll keep that one. And we will insert Aquasite. And we got the Extrema file, which allows us to have a minor bonus in all environments. I can't see where this wouldn't be useful. Even though these get a bonus, this gets a minor bonus across the board. So it kind of averages it out. And I think this is why we were having a problem, because we didn't quite have all of the environments that we needed. And we still don't have anything in this last slot in the Necroa virus genes. I think we have to get it on normal. So I played it on casual to get an idea of what we were doing wrong. So now we're going to try it on normal and see if my strategy works. And we're going to keep the Malignant Tickle, because that's a good name. So we are going to start in Saudi Arabia. Port, airplanes. So here's what we did yesterday. We tried everything we could to get around. We completely ignored this. We went for these first. We got too much of this. Got noticed too fast. What we need is Zoonotic Shift for 3 points. And I debated this yesterday because I wasn't sure how useful it would be. And then I found out, after playing on casual, it's very useful. And I will tell you why. So we open up Zoonotic Shift, and we've got insects. And insects spread mutation, or spread disease and increase mutation, which we don't really want to increase the mutation just yet. And another thing we did wrong yesterday is we took the segmented genome, and we shouldn't have done that. So anyway, insects get killed by God, what's the word I'm looking for? Pesticides. Very easily, completely wiped out. Birds, they just get rid of them. Rats, they kill all the rats. One thing I noticed but didn't take into account yesterday was bats. Host range broadens to include bats, which are hard to detect. So at some point, they are going to start killing bats. But the bats hang around longer than any other one. So they continue to infect people even after. And what we did yesterday, I think we got all these because I think the bats was the highest. So I think we picked that one. But we didn't take it further. So we have to take it further. So we need 10 points to get bats. And I'll show you what happens when you do this. It's pretty incredible. And we got 4. And the other thing we did wrong was we worked on our zombies, but we didn't make them stronger, and we did not increase the size of our horde. We went the wrong way. We'd spent too many points and too many other things, and we never got what we needed. And then we wasted too much time before we spread across. So what we need to do is spread as quickly as possible. So we got the bats, and now we need 17 points for bats 2. And look at how much this increases our infectivity, and look at how much this increases our severity. And our severity will come in even more handily as we progress, because severity has a drastic impact on zombie viruses, the Necroa virus. And I will tell you when we get there what I learned today that makes severity more important than infectivity once you get close to the end. And we started in Saudi Arabia because they have a port and an airport and a reasonable population, because we don't want to flood out the whole country and get detected and have them start working on a cure too quickly. But they're going to start working on a cure, and if we can slow them down, we'll slow them down. If we can't, we're not going to worry about it, because we should have enough from what we're doing that by the time they get to 100%, we should have our reanimation ready to lined up. There's our second bats, and the bats are done. We're done with this. I did play one playthrough and I took birds, and it scattered them across everywhere fairly quickly. So we may end up taking birds if it seems like we're going too slow, but we need to get drug resistance. Temperature resistance is, I don't know, we got bonus in everything, so I'm not sure if we want to do that. But we do need drug resistance, because we can't get our infections lows and a reshuffle without getting it anyway. So we need it. So we need 9 points for that. And we should start getting it fairly quickly. So regardless of whether drug resistance is useful in and of itself, doesn't matter, you've got to get it. So you might as well get it early. Hey now. There we go. So now we get drug resistance, and that opens up drug resistance 2, which we're going to ignore. It opens up genetic hardening, which we need to get. So 5 points for genetic hardening. And that's okay. We're actually going to want that anyway, but we don't need it yet. Even though it gave it to us, it's not hurting us. Not in this mode. On higher modes, the more symptoms you have, the worse it gets.
Flight 291 is now boarding. All passengers, please proceed to gate 4.
But we got it for free, so it didn't matter. Okay, so anyway, genetic hardening, 5 points. Because we don't want that future research to go any faster than it's already going to go. So we want saliva for 9 points. Doesn't have a lot of impact here, but it opens up gastrointestinitis, which does. So we want that. It also opens up water. So here's the key that I figured out. If you want water, you go this way. Saliva, and then work your way around. Air is up here. We learned that yesterday. Ignore this. You don't need it. So this tree, insomnia, slows future research speed. Fever, slows future research speed. If you notice, we only got one genetic hardening. We don't get a second one. We get a reshuffle and a reshuffle. And that's it. These slow your research. So these need to come on board before the research starts or very early on. And either one of these trees will get you to the zombies. But this one has an advantage of slowing down future research speed. This is very key. So we want saliva first. And the quicker we get this, the quicker we get spread around the world. And then see the difference that gastrointestinal expansion makes? Gastrointestinal expansion makes? It's a huge difference. That's not as huge for saliva 2, but saliva 2 opens up water. So now we can get fever. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, bats 2 does give a little bit of lethality. But you know what? We're dealing with reanimating the dead, so it doesn't matter. You don't want to kill everybody, like in some big mad spree. But a couple dead people isn't going to hurt you. Well, till they come back. Then they'll hurt you. And you can see we're already progressing through. We're in several different countries. We've been on some boats. We're probably going to start hitting some airplanes now. And that's going to take this up. And once they get to here, they're going to start a cure. And we need to be ready. And you can see we're pushing it pretty fast. So we need to get as many places as we can as quickly as possible. So let's grab fever. And let's grab photophobia. Okay, this slows future research speed, but slightly reduces infection rates. You can see this goes down just a little bit, but slowing the research rate in the grand scheme of things overweighs the infection rate reduction, and we do gain some severity, which, as I said before, is very important. And we want to stop on delirium, I think. Yeah, we want delirium's fine. We can go with delirium. Eventually we're going to want to grab a hypersalivation, because that ties in with this, and the two of them together make a pair. So we will grab delirium next. And they've started working on the cure. That's fine. They can start working. We've got into some other countries. We're in places with ports and airports, so we are in good shape. We'll grab delirium, and then see we're already down to cytopathic reanimation. We do not want to get this, nor do we want to let it evolve or manifest. It may actually be better to leave delirium off so that we don't spark this mutation automatically. If we do, we got to kill it as soon as it comes up. So 10 points for hypersalivation to work with our saliva. And we were doing this a little different than I did in my last couple playthroughs of this. So I'm hoping it works out. But we've slowed research as much as possible. We've worked within the boundaries of getting those two paired symptoms. So now we need 12 points for gastrointestinal expansion so that we can push hard before the cure starts. That may be all we need. Polyphagia. So anytime you get a symptom, if you don't know what it is, go look. Because you don't want to push too much lethality. Alright, we'll let gastrointestinalitis come up by itself. If it does, we're just going to collect these. Here's the problem we had before. We activated our zombies too soon. We did not have enough coverage. So when we went active, we were nowhere in the world to fight back. So we got completely dominated by Zcom. As you can see, those bats are carrying us around. And since it's zombies, we don't care about some of these islands. We will get there. It's not a huge deal. The thing is, we got to keep our shot clock from running out for as long as possible. So the longer it takes the cure to get to 90-something%, whenever we feel safe about knocking it out. As soon as we do, we're going to need as many points as possible. But it looks like we've got good coverage in every country, in every area. So we are getting around like we should. And we've got time. And we are completely covering some of these. Now, we have not killed that many people that they're going to start investing huge amounts of money into a cure yet. We have a ton of points. It's 25%. I got lucky last time and got Canada infected on its own. Kind of sad that didn't happen this time. That was kind of key in our strategy that I used. It was fortunate, very, very fortunate actually. Okay, I think we need cold because we are having a problem. And we'll grab hot while we're at it since it's cheap. And let's do a reshuffle. And the next reshuffle is going to cost us 16. But we need to buy that time. So we got... Okay, we got this. That's fine. It's not going to hurt us. So this one that tends to give a little lethality, which actually I think we can handle that. Let's grab that. There's another one that slows future research speed, but it's costing us points, and we need to save our points. And I will explain why when we get there. There we go. Russia's kicking up now. So we got almost 4 billion people infected. Almost 4 billion people. As 7.2. So they are at 77%. 78, 79, 80, 83, 84, 7, 8, 9. This is not working out like I'd hoped. Okay. It's a little more complicated in... Alright, so we grab cytopathic reanimation. Anaerobic resuscitation. We, since we are running low on points, need Horde Instinct. And this is where we had the problem before. We did not increase the size of our zombie horde fast enough. So we need this one, and we need the fourth one, because this one does some zombies. This one does thousands of zombies. This one does hundreds of thousands of zombies, and this one does millions of zombies. We need this one. So we need hundreds of thousands before we can get millions, so 17 points. Okay, so now the cure's almost done. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Now we've got our zombies. Okay. Mexico's got a lot of zombies. Alright. 27 points. There we go. Okay. Now I need this one at 23. Alright, so here's what I found out today from looking around at various things. Your zombies attack power is your severity. So when you finally start reanimating, when you come down here and you add these, increases severity, particularly in urban environments. Your severity is your zombie's combat potential. So the more severity you have, the more deadly your zombies are and the less likely they are to die. We didn't even touch that last time. Okay, so we got a bunch in Kazakhstan. We need to get some into Russia now. We need to get our zombies rolling. Because the more countries we're in before ZCOM comes online, see, there we go. So we got ZCOM in Poland. And they can't get up there. Okay, now we're going to pause it and collect our points. So now we're going to look and see what's near Poland. Can we take them from here? No, too far. Okay, let's grab our millions. See, million strong. Huge difference. And then this is where you start paying off. Severity, severity, severity. They can bite through thick clothing. Anabolic boost. They get huge increase in muscle mass. Huge severity. Okay. So it's really a shame we didn't get into there first. But we got them in France. Can France sneak in there? No, but France can sneak in there. And at this point, when these come up, they're going to get overwhelming. So pausing is going to help. So here's what we got. We need to keep ZCOM down. We need to get into every country and make sure everything has some zombies in it doing something as quick as possible. Even a few, as long as they're doing something. It will benefit us. If we don't do this quickly, we will not have time to get in there. Okay, wait, Spain got any? Yes, Spain. UK. Let's go from UK to there. And Germany to Poland. So we're going to invade Poland from Germany. And hopefully grab some of these. Peptide surge. More severity. And as you can see, the more of these we're getting, the more severity is going up. The harder our zombies are going to fight. Gives zombies a combat advantage. This is their combat advantage. We need to save that. So let's roll. And you can see the clouds going. And now our zombies are in Poland. And they're getting killed, but they're killing. Ukraine has 0. Ukraine needs some zombies. Okay, our Polish zombies are starting to fall down a little bit. So let's boost their combat. There we go. That got them going a little bit. Umbilical hypertrophy. There we go. So now our zombies are a little more potent. Okay, so let's send them from... Can we do Russia? No. We need to get in there and kick them out as fast as possible. We need to get... Are there any zombies in there? Yeah, I do. There we go. Can't go there. Alright, we'll go up there. Okay. And there's our blue line. We just need to kick them out as quick as possible. Keep them down. Okay, I think our zombies are pretty strong in Russia, so we're gonna take up here. And I think that's the only country that's... Sweden and the Philippines. I'm not seeing anything... Okay, so we can bang some zombies into the Philippines. Alright. And now we need to take some from Norway. And now our zombies need some help. Another 10 million in Poland. We just gotta keep riding them down. You can see it's a very thin line of people left. 6.8 billion people dead. Send them some more help. Zombie reinforcements. Central Europe has a bunch. We can send some up from Central Europe. So you can only send what you have. So if you don't have a bunch, you can't send a bunch. So in here, we only have 300. So we wouldn't only send a couple hundred. Philippines is gone. Not losing many people, are they? 3.849. 3.7. So we are getting our butts kicked. Germany has 0. Central Europe has another. We'll send another 4 million in. Ukraine is 0. Russia is 0. Finland. Well, they die quick. Send another 2 million from Central Europe in. Overwhelm them. We gotta get rid of these people. 1.8 million to our 2.5 million zombies. And that appears to be the last holdout in the world. Poland and Central Europe. Where is Central Europe? They have no healthy people left, but they still exist. So let's get our zombies in there. Are there any more? Are they all dead? Or undead? Dead undead. Okay, 2.1, 709. 621. This is going to be down to the wire, I tell you what. So we better take our 400,000 zombies and send them in. 183. That's the last one we can do. If that doesn't get it, there's nothing left to get. 118,000. Those guys are holding out heavy against 2 million zombies. Zcom destroyed. Now we should overrun them. Done. Malignant tickle has destroyed humanity. Okay. What did we learn yesterday? We learned messing around in here is unimportant. When I played this in casual, I was able to get these two as well, and the infection spread quicker. I think we should have got these two faster. But the key is getting these. If we would have got more points, we could have gotten this and had a little more time. But it didn't work out in our favor to do it that way. So we got a little out of order. So we got the Horde Instinct and we got the Pack all the way up. That gave us the ability to send millions of zombies. Then we did this to slow the research, and it didn't really have that much of an impact. We got that by default, so blah, whatever. So each of these would have added more severity and made our zombies more lethal. Any of these. So if we would have gotten any of these mutation for free, they would have helped us tremendously. But we didn't. And we ran really low on points because we were not in the area where ZCOM came, because we should have paused it and made sure we had zombies going from every country into every country that was open. And we did not get into Canada, so we had to go to Canada, to Greenland, and then instead of going from the UK to these two countries or somewhere up here, we went to one and didn't go to the other. So we needed to get up into this northern peninsula as quick as possible. We should have been quicker on the draw to get the temperature compensation. We got noticed just a little too quick. So it worked out in the end. But if you want to try this yourself, you're going to find that Necroa viruses are a different breed. They're a different challenge. They take a little bit more planning. And if you follow a similar pattern to what I did, at least in normal or casual, you will do just fine. When they hit 100% of the cure in casual, I had almost 200 DNA to spend. So I just zipped right through that tree. And I know there's a huge difference between casual and normal, but you can see the difference between casual and normal based on the fact that in the end, I had no DNA left. I was having a severe problem getting ZCOM down, even in one base. So when that one base pops up, you got to take it out, Because if they get a second base set up, each ZCOM base makes all the other ZCOM bases more potent. And eventually there'll be too many, and they will just overrun you because you do not have enough resources to take them down. And since you can't really afford to get the ones that keep the zombies alive longer and move them around more, well, I guess you could, but you really have to budget for it and have to do some creative swapping. But you need to get it done as quick as possible. So that's the Necroa virus. So there you go. I would have liked to have seen a higher infected rate before they started working on the cure, but we didn't get there. So remember, bats are the key, because bats are harder to destroy. And if I would have thought to show you the news from that one, you would have seen where they started killing bats and it never really got anywhere. They still kept pushing. So they dropped that right as soon as we hit it, didn't they? Anyway, see, this was the hard part. We had to come up here, then we had to go over there, and then we went up here, and we should have gone over into this continent somewhere, and we should have pushed further in faster and then pushed on ZCOM before they got stronger. And we didn't get there. We were too far behind before they got in, and we did not have time to get what we needed done, and then all of our zombies were already dead. So we got there in the end, but it was very close in the end. And if we watch, you can see we ended up with see, we're already down to 3 million zombies, and there's still 1 million people left. $2.4 million. I think we were right around 2 million zombies total when we took them down. 2.4 million. That's how close we cut it. So we need to move a little faster to get those Necroa viruses down, and we need to get it pushed out further before we get detected. So we need to move a little quicker. Anyway, I hope this helps you understand the things we did wrong yesterday and some of the things we did right today, as well as a couple of things we probably could have done better today. If you have any questions about the Necroa virus, I will try to answer them, but it is very hard to beat. I would be very impressed if on the first time you played it on normal difficulty that you just rocked right through it and didn't lose. It's hard. It's very hard. I like the challenge though, but I had to do some research to find out some things, and those things I already shared with you. When your zombies come up, their severity needs to be high. And the higher the severity, the better they fight. That'll get you more results in the end, because severity doesn't really count in there until they get to fighting people. And when they fight people, well, they need to be strong. Tomorrow is the nanovirus. And then we do the bioweapon. And then we're going to see where we are with achievements. And I will probably turn on my overlays, and maybe we'll do some achievements. But maybe we'll go back through and unlock the rest of these genes we're missing, so that we've got a shot to knock up the difficulty a little bit. Because we need to do that. Because we need to start playing on a higher difficulty level. But it's hard to play on a higher difficulty level when you're playing at an extreme disadvantage, because you don't have the rest of them unlocked. And I am not sure. I'm going to play a simian flu. And there's a couple reasons. One of the reasons is because of the commercialized nature of the simian flu. and some of the things that are involved in it, I'm going to have to think about that one, because it's a direct tie-in to the Planet of the Apes movie. It's actually a bonus level because of the movie. I don't know about legally how that's going to impact the video, so we may not do the simian flu just simply to avoid any Imperial entanglements. But I will do the nanovirus and I will do the bioweapon. And then we're going to start doing achievement chasing, and then we're going to ramp up the difficulty. But yeah, we may skip this one, or at least leave it off of the series simply because of copyright issues, because there's a lot of things in here. Actually, I can show you. You got the trailer, things like that. I don't want to take the time to edit anything out and miss something and then get copyright strike for the video. So we're not going to do Simian Flu. I'm not feeling that brave right now. I've got a ton of content ID strikes I got to deal with right now already, and I'm kind of frustrated about that on my other channel. So we're going to see about that. But that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to go fight some more content ID battles. And then I'll be back with another gaming video shortly. But I will start the upload on this one as soon as I get done with the edit, and we will be on our way to the next step. Talk to you guys later.